Welcome back to the show. This is Right Wing Rico on the Single Boyfriend podcast. To call Elon Musk a government insider would be an understatement. The man spent billions of his own personal wealth to help Donald Trump get into office about a year ago today. He was one of the strongest and most powerful MAGA supporters we've ever seen, and his sway changed the country and saved the election. The fact that he was able to buy Twitter and restore free speech means that technically the nation is indebted to him. We've had our ups and downs. I personally do not trust Elon Musk because of the space hoax. I believe he works with the globalists. And when the time comes and they do the fake alien first contact, fake alien invasion, whenever that nonsense does come around, I believe it will be Elon Musk will be a pivotal part in helping pull it off. Unfortunately, the globalists won't be able to do that until they get the Zionists in checkmate. Now that they've established a beachhead in New York City, the globalists are quickly disposing of the Zionists, and that the time for the fake alien invasion will be soon. But that's for my reason. That's a whole nother story we're going to do later. But right now, the reason that I am going to listen to Elon Musk and trust what he says is because if anybody would know, he would. It's just that he doesn't need security clearance, so he can speak freely. And I'll show you why I believe what he's about to say. Take a listen.
Democracy. By the Democratic Party wants to destroy democracy by importing voters. The reason you have this standoff is because if the hundreds of billions of dollars to create a financial incentive to have this giant magnet to attract illegals from every part of Earth to these states, if that is turned off, the illegals will leave because they're no longer being paid.
Now, that is absolutely true. Now, let's think about it. We had a huge major issue with USAID that had to be shut down forcefully by Donald Trump earlier this year. What were they doing? Well, they were injecting billions of dollars around the world into nonsensical programs. But in these countries, what these programs were actually doing, where they were organizing and paying for the mass migration of their citizens to the border of the United States in Mexico. They spent billions around the world, but countries that were giving 15 million for gender studies for underwater sea creatures and transgender anatomy for floating in zero gravity, all these weird programs, all that money was really being used for was to pay for the travel expenses and the initial deposits for the people to actually get from other parts of the world to Mexico. So think about it. You would fly from India, you would fly from China, you would fly from Bangladesh, you'd fly from Africa. They would fly into Brazil. They would fly into Chile. They would fly into Colombia or Panama. Then they would have to pay traffickers thousands of dollars per person to get them up to the United States border. But where'd the money come from? Well, it came from those USAID programs. Right now, the Democrats are saying, hey, we need you to restore all of our funding that goes overseas, or we're not going to pass this resolution to reopen the government. They're also saying you have to guarantee certain amounts of hundreds of billions to fund healthcare for illegals. But not just that, they want that money to go back overseas so they can get their voters back into the United States. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Listen to this.
Without the government support, I cannot stay maybe a month or 2 months.
What he's doing is he's letting the people who bribed, who are paying him, who are bribing him for his votes, he's giving them an ultimatum. He's letting them know, you have 2 months to turn my money back on or I'm out. These people are not here working. These people are not here going to school. These people are just here and they're sitting and waiting for the chance to vote, waiting for the chance to be counted on the census, waiting to usurp the democracy of Americans. When people talk about, oh, what about our democracy? Democracy, freedom of speech, the Constitution, those items are only for Americans. Democracy does not apply to people in South Sudan, Mexico, Nicaragua, Guatemala. They do not have the First Amendment rights. They don't have those protections. If you're coming here as an illegal and you're voting the same as me, you're canceling out my vote. That means you are upending my democracy and my rights to have it. That's why they are a huge threat. This man is saying, if you don't turn back on my government subsidies, because they're not just getting what Americans get, $300 a month in food stamps. No, no, no. These people are getting 3, 4, 5,000 a month. They're giving it to them in EBT or SNAP, but then they're also giving them cash benefits. They're paying them. They're bribing them for their votes and for their supports. They need the warm bodies to fill out these forms in case they're ever audited, because the fraud is not going to make it. What is called ballot harvesting, all that stuff's not going to work. Even in Texas today, we just passed a constitutional amendment where it is now a requirement for identification, which it's a damn shame that we even had to do that in Texas, because we should not have a problem with people illegally voting in the first place. But when you have people that don't respect our country that are here, they're not going to respect our laws. They're not going to respect our form of government, and they're not going to respect our rights. They don't care. So that's why they should not be here. So Elon Musk is right about this. Listen to what he says one more time. He's letting them know, you pay me or I'm out.
Without the government support, I cannot stay maybe month or 2 months.
Pima County Chairman Rex Scott told News for Tucson he's deeply concerned about the impact on local refugees and said,
because those are the people that put him in power, and that's the only way he's going to stay in power. So he's trying to keep them here. Let's see what else. Look at Elon Musk. Now think about it. He just broke it down and told you this money is a magnet. If it's not being sent around the world, he
wants to destroy democracy.
People are not going to. You have to pay these people to be here. They're not just organically waking up and saying, you know what? I want to eat hamburgers and watch the Dodgers win a World Series. I want to start being an American. No, these people don't want to be Americans. They're being paid to come here. Why do you think they don't want to learn English and assimilate? They don't want to be here. This is their job. Do you like going to work? No, you don't like your job. But you go there because they what? Pay you. And if your job stops paying you, what you're going to do? You're going to leave. Now, they're telling you, hey, I'll give you two. What if they say we don't got the money right now? You might tell your job, you know what, I can wait a couple of pay period. I can miss a couple of paychecks, hit me on the back end. But if 3 months go by and you don't get a check, you're out, right? Because you don't love your job. You're only there because they're paying you. And that's the same thing goes for these illegals.
The Democratic Party wants to destroy democracy by importing voters. The reason you have the standoff is because if the hundreds of billions of dollars to create a financial incentive to have this giant magnet to attract illegals from every part of Earth to these states, if that is turned off, the illegals will leave.
Do you all understand what I'm saying? Do me a favor, share this video. I'm on YouTube, I'm on X. Like and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate it. The Single Boyfriend or Right Wing Rico, either one. But are you listening to what he's saying? The money that they're saying we're not opening up the government until you send it overseas. It's a magnet to attract in voters to come to the United States. It's money goes to these organizations, and basically these organizations in other countries are more so like a temp agency. They're looking for employees to hire that are willing to relocate to the United States, and they pay you per month to be here. That's your job, is to come to the U.S. You're not coming to the U.S. looking for work. Coming to the U.S. is your work. That's your job. That's what Musk is telling us. Do you understand what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? That's why this is what they did not want you to know. We all must keep this in mind. We must stay the course. I hope this fucking government never reopens. Ever. I'm tired of seeing fat blacks on the fucking internet complaining about everything and threatening. Fuck them. And if that means that that's what's causing all these illegals to be over here illegally voting, that's the reason why they're here, is because we're paying them with this money. That if we give it to them, that's the way the government to reopen it. We're going to give them their money. We're going to keep the problem going. No, this had to be done sooner or later. Trump's on his last term anyway. Hate him if you want to. The government must stay closed. We've got to force these illegals to get so mad and frustrated that they evacuate the country because they're not getting paid anymore. We want them to leave. So we're going to do what we have to do. We have to stay the course. I support Trump. Yeah, I don't like what's happening with Charlie Kirk, and he's going to have to explain that to me one day. But until then, I'm going to still support Trump.
Because they're no longer being paid to come to the United States and stay here.
Wow.
And then they will lose a lot of voters. The Democratic Party will lose a lot of voters.
And they would have a very difficult job if this is kicked out of reintroducing it into a new bill.
Yes.
Especially once things start normalizing.
Yes. So, like, in a nutshell, the Democratic Party wants to destroy democracy by importing voters. And the Republican Party disagrees with that.
And the ruse is that if you don't accept what they're doing, then you're a threat to democracy.
Yes.
As they try to destroy democracy.
Yes.
By importing.
And that's because we both do not share the same democracy. See, we don't live in a democracy. The United States is a constitutional republic. I'm a participant in the constitutional republic. When they talk about a democracy, that's this imaginary government, this multicultural democracy that they're trying to develop under our noses that is going to usurp our constitutional republic and remove our constitution. We're not going to let that happen. That's why when they're saying they're trying to destroy democracy and our democracy, we live in there's two different teams. I live in a constitutional republic. I don't live in a democracy. The United States has never been a democracy. I would never want to live in a democracy. That's mob rule. 51% say we're going to go burn down the rest of the country, and 49% says no, and 51% outnumbers us. So that means we're going to go and do what the mob says. Fuck no, we can't have a democracy. We've never been one. That they're trying to develop this multicultural LGBT society. They're trying to, but they want to, instead of them all packing up, moving to a swat of land in another continent and starting their own society, they want to steal everything my ancestors built here in this country. Everything your ancestors built. They want to take it from you and make it theirs. They're better off evacuating. The fight they're going to get, they don't want. So they should leave. The illegals are going to leave first. These other people that want their multicultural democracy, they should follow them, because trying to force it here is just a waste of your time. We're not doing it.
Voters.
That is
and
literally what they're
incentivizing
doing.
people to only vote for them and overwhelming the system.
Yes. And by the way, it's a strategy that, if allowed to work, would work. And in fact, has worked. California is supermajority Democrat.
Yeah.
And there's so much gerrymandering that
He's absolutely right. You know, being in California, if you're on the ground, unless you're talking to somebody who's white or gay, they love the country. They vote Republican. They're conservative. They believe in man, woman, and child. They get married and have kids. No one's gay. Unless you talk to blacks and gays, then they live in this multicultural democracy. They hate the country. They hate the president. They hate everything. And they especially hate white people. Even gays hate white people, because even the white ones are gay. They're not white anymore. But the only reason why you think that there's a supermajority in California is because of gerrymandering, and because they bring in the illegals and they pay them to vote illegally, but also to be counted in the census. And that false number of citizens supporting the Democrats is what's creating this fake supermajority rule image in California. We have a new Republican sheriff that's trying to win the governorship. If he does win, hopefully we can change that. California has never been a Democrat supermajority. It's all been based on fraud. And that's why Gavin Newsom just passed this whole Prop 50 nonsense, just gerrymandering crap just to try to scam the system. We have to get rid of, we cannot reopen the government for these reasons. So we need you to stay the course. And if someone's wondering, well, why can't we reopen the government? What about the starving kids? And there are some things that are just more important than others. If you're that hungry, you'll go out and you'll find some labor to do so you can earn money. If you have children and you love your children, you will find a way to go out and earn so you can support your kids. If you don't like them that much, I don't blame you. Fuck them. Stay home and complain and, I don't know, smoke weed, whatever you guys do it. Screw them. But if you love your kids, you're going to figure out a way. Like and subscribe, share the video. If you don't know anybody, if you know people that don't understand why we got to stay closed, send them this video and let me talk to them. Follow my channel, The Single Boyfriend, all one word. I'll see you guys again shortly. Thank you to Elon Musk for disclosing this. Even though I don't trust him, this is a good time to listen to him. I'll be back shortly with another clip. And hopefully I'm going to be able to do an interview with He Is Blanchard. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he's a super important YouTuber, but a personality in general. He actually gave me my start years ago, the first interview I ever did talking about anything political in the year 2020. He brought me on his show. So now I'm going to bring him on my show and hopefully my audience will follow him. So I'll be back hopefully today or tomorrow and I'll get him online with us. Appreciate it and see you guys again shortly. I'll be back in about 20 minutes. We'll be back on live.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.